Supermodel Naomi Campbell recently opened up to The Guardian about her experiences, in the modeling industry. In the interview, she said she actually had to turn down a large amount of money to participate in an all-black fashion show. Interesting. She felt it would have been hypocritical, given how outspoken she's been on balanced inclusion, and doing an all-black fashion show wouldn't have represented that. So, ladies, what are your thoughts on that?
Interesting.
I know, right?
Why can't she do both?
That was my...
Exactly.
I'm like, why?
Ding, ding, ding.
You know, it's been a long time since, I know that she's had to work her way and crawl her way into, an industry that's really bad. You know who does it really well, though? I have to give a shout out to Rihanna and her Fenty Beauty.
Yes.
Her fashion shows, they're like all colors, all sizes. That's the way you do it. But also, there is something to be said by having these type of shows that are just kind of focused on different people. Like, I would love to see, there have been all Asian shows or all Hispanic shows to celebrate that particular culture. I don't see a problem with that.
It's not exclusion, it's just a celebration of. But I'm sure you guys have heard this question before where people are like, BET, that sounds crazy, or only black whatever, because they're like, imagine if we had a show or a station that was white entertainment television. And the answer to that, as I'm sure you're about to say, you're like, well, that's ABC, CBS, NBC, if we're being honest, that the reason why those platforms were created was because they didn't have an outlet for them. And until there is actual equality, there will continue to be things that specifically celebrate those that have been oppressed, those that have not been able to be on television, those that did not have their own networks. So I'm for both. I'm for inclusivity. I think what we do here is incredible. When the show first started, people were like, that show's not gonna work. You don't have a white girl. They literally would be like, we're like, well, what does that even mean? Like, why is that a problem?
They still say it in the comments. Like, why is it a white girl? It would be a much better show if it was a white girl. We have a white girl. She's just behind this camera. It's our EP, Rachel Miskowitz. You don't get no whiter than Rachel. You don't get no whiter than that one right there. The blonde hair, everything. And she's a wonderful person.
And a great Midwest gal.
And I agree with you 100%, Adrienne. I mean, I like the idea of balanced inclusion, but the reality is we don't have that everywhere, and that's the reason why there has to be all black fashion shows. So why couldn't she maybe feel honored, be the trailblazer in that show to help other black models, get to where she is?
She has been one of the biggest trailblazers in the high fashion world. I just think it would be great to see her do both.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, because I struggled too with why Naomi would choose that. And then I thought about her time. I was so obsessed with the supermodels, like each of them standing on different ways. And when she came out, it was like Cindy Crawford and Yasmin Gowrie and then Beverly Johnson and Alec Weck, Iman, like people that were really signature in their look. But the problem is, we shouldn't have just one of that category. There are so many beautiful faces and so many beautiful types that I was upset because I thought that her staying out of it actually didn't bring the attention that all these amazing models should have in an underrepresented
Well, that's even
industry.
like in stand-up comedy. We are now tending to do, I just joined this tour. We've been doing it for a couple years. It's called Ladies Night Out Comedy Tour, where it's all women.
We came to see you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Microsoft Theater here in LA. You were amazing.
But it's important because stand-up comedy has always been male-dominated. And you always, it's usually maybe all males or maybe one female. But the thing that I want to say, how I correlated with Naomi, is that she has a name. So when you see that name, that's
brings
attention to it. So even like with me, it's like Nene Leakes and myself. And the other girls are well known. You know Sherry and things like that. But every day, or people that you need to have a lead. And that's the reason why it's important to support those types of things. So,
Absolutely.